Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Great League, showcasing another very powerful team featuring Stunfisk. Stunfisk on one of my all-time go-to teams in the Great League. It will be primarily serving as the safe swap, and also on this team in the back, along with Stunfisk, good old Lanturn, one of my favorite just staples of the Great League. This thing is such an excellent generalist. Of course, it does have that Achilles heel of grass, but just about everything else, this thing so clutch on just about any team. And also on the lead, rounding out the team, good old Sableye on the lead. Excellent generalist, handles all of the Metacham leads that we've been seeing quite a bit of in the Great League. Yeah, getting back into the Great League, I wasn't sure what was coming at me. I know the meta has shifted a little bit. Decided to go with a very comfortable team for me here. My first battle back in the second cycle of Great League, and we meet an Altaria here on the lead. So this is okay. It's pretty neutral. We've got two excellent answers to this, so we are going to want to have to get out of here at some point. We do decide to chip. Tried to catch a Sky Attack, but they hold on to the energy. And we do definitely survive a Moonblast from Altaria, no problem. Gonna let this go. No attack drop, and they meet us with a Vigoroth. So this is very interesting. Looks like Team 2, I believe, from my top 5 best teams for the Great League. That team leads Altaria, has Vigoroth and Registeel in the back, so that's what I'm thinking. You don't often see Vigoroth, and to see it paired with an Altaria, perhaps it could be. So that's what I'm playing with in mind. Gonna go for the Surf here on the Vigoroth, and they let it go. They can survive, and they know that this is not a farmable range for Sableye, but we've got energy stored. We are just a few Shadow Claws off, and we do outpace. And of course, we win CMP tie if they had the energy lead, but they did not. We're saying bye-bye to that Vigoroth before they can get off any shenanigans here. Gonna spam our switch button back into G-Fist, expecting the Altaria. It's not Registeel, it's a Lanturn, so a modified version with Lanturn in the back. Very, very interesting. And this is still fine. We just have to play carefully. We do survive 2 Surfs, and they cannot farm down with resisted Sparks. And we know that, so gonna go for the EQ just in case they wanted to get a little brave and try and call a bait, but they know better. So now we will look to bait them on the CMP here. I do believe we shield this because we do want our G-Fisk to be healthy for that. We want to save it for the Altaria. That's the best answer to Altaria on this team. Going for the Rock Slide bait, grabbing the final shield. You love to see it. Switch timer's coming up here. We don't want to get too low because if we let this go, that Altaria can Dragon Breath us down quite easily. So we will shield that. Shields are now down. Gonna bank a move, go back into Sableye. Try to draw back out that Altaria, but this Lanturn is staying in. So that's okay. We do get it to dump some energy. And now we have to be careful of a catch. We throw one and we wait a half a second and we go for the Earthquake here. And we say bye-bye to the Lanturn. Holy smokes, they were still stuck in their spark animation, so that worked out beautifully. And now it is smooth sailing from here. We get to this Rock Slide, and we are saying bye-bye to the Altaria. G-Fisk this time coming in clutch, closing the game strong. That's going to be a good game. Well played. G-Fisk coming in clutch to close that one out. You don't often see that with this team, and here we go. What you do often see is this team right here. The Aegislash lead. Oh my goodness, I hate this team when I run this one because it's next to impossible to beat. I was so sick and tired of it. I just went into Lanturn just to check the team. And if they met me with what I thought they had in the back, would have been a Trevenant, I was just going to top left because you just can't beat that team. But I was determined. They have a Venusaur, not a Trevenant. In case you've never seen this team before, it leads generally. I saw this team quite a bit last cycle. Aegislash, Metacham, and Trevenant. That's what the team is. But I'm thinking there's still maybe a modified version with still having a Metacham in the back, but a Venusaur in the place of Trevenant. But we put in quite a bit of work as they were looking to overfarm quite a bit with this Venusaur, getting it well below 50% health, right at around 25% or so. And we're going to come in with G-Fisk, reading that there's a Medicham in the back here. Going to throw this Rock Slide just to get rid of the Venusaur before they can get to another Frenzy Plant here. And they let it go. That's beautiful. That's brilliant. So now I'm thinking maybe we have a shot here. I was just checking the team just to make sure it was what I thought it was. And it is not, guys. This is a very, very modified version. A similar dynamic, but instead of Medicham, they've got a Cresselia. So with that in mind, I'm thinking we can probably have a shot here. Gonna look to get off this EQ here. We are getting quite low, but they cannot farm down. They let that go. It's Sableye time. Gonna throw Sableye in here and just throw caution to the wind and call this bait here and see what they want to do. They go for the grass knot bait. They are giving us all the opportunities in the world to beat this team. Holy smokes. If it was what I thought it was, there was no shot. If I had seen Trev come in onto that Lanturn, I was going to top left because you just can't beat Aegislash, Medicham, Trevenant. It's just RPS. That's an RPS loss. But this was a slightly different version of that team. Similar sentiment. Two anti-fighters in the back. They're going Bulldoze. Holy smokes, hello! Did you not get the memo that Aegislash got a buff? They're running Bulldoze on that Aegislash and they top left. Holy smokes. Should not have won that one, but it worked out because we hung on. Good game, well played to them. For those of you wondering why I lost my mind on that Bulldoze Aegislash, guys, Drill Run is a strict upgrade. It does the same damage, but significantly less energy. If you don't have Drill Run, don't run it. But here we go. Awful lead. We had a Lickitung. We make a play into our Lanturn, and we go for the Thunderbolt here. We do survive a Power Whip, and I was thinking maybe they would try and bait us, seeing as how shields are still up and we outpace. But no, they go right for it. Good on them. That's okay. We survive. But if we want to take out this Lickitung, we're going to actually have to shield a Body Slam at this point, trying to call that bait. And they're just letting all this go. So very interesting to see. This is a very interesting strat because Lickitung is often the best answer to a Sableye on any Great League team, generally. So I'm thinking if they're letting all this go and they're just going to sacrifice their Lickitung here, what the heck else do they have in the back for our Sableye? My goodness. So we are now down a shield. They have their own Sableye, so perhaps they were banking on the shield advantage with their own Sableye up against ours. So I guess that makes a little bit of sense here, but just going to look to chip with this Surf, and we're not going to give up Switch. We're going to let them farm us down so that we can align Stunfisk onto this Sableye here, because even at a health disadvantage, this Sableye has the shield advantage and the energy advantage, so gotta bring Stunfisk in to absorb all this damage and try to grab that shield back. Going to go for the Rock Slide. We don't need to build all the way up to it. They know that they are within Rock Slide plus Mud Shot range, so it's okay. We just want to keep up with the pace and put heavy pressure on this opposing Sableye here. Going for Rock Slide number 2, and we'll likely grab that final shield here, and we do. So now it's time for our own Sableye. Now we have Swing. We have moved things into our favor. We now have the shield advantage and the health advantage. Going to shield up their foul play. Then the fact that they're staying in with this low health Sableye, it's a Toxapex. I wasn't sure what else could have been in the back. I was thinking maybe they were weak, and they are. Because, guys, we're a Ghost type, and Toxapex deals Poison type fast move pressure, which means that we resist that. And they don't hit particularly hard. Their redeeming quality is their extreme bulk. Going for this massive return, no shields remaining, and now it is looking pretty good here. They need 2 more poison jabs after this brine here to take us out, and they cannot get that. The Shadow Claws with Stab, 2 OP, and we left with the move for this opposing Sableye. It has no shields, and we're saying bye-bye to their opposing Sableye with our own. Holy smoke, Sableye taking over the game to come in clutch. Good game, well played. Yeah, this was my first time getting back into the Great League since the meta has shifted in response to carbing. So I said, I'm going with something I'm comfortable with. Not sure what's coming at me here, but we're looking at a Drifblim. This is a solid lead. They make an excellent catch onto an Umbreon. Good on them for that. That's a brilliant catch. And we're going to come in with Stunfisk here. We have two amazing answers to a flyer like Drifblim. That's why we've got... This is my favorite anti-flyer backline, Lanturn and G-Fisk. You don't get much better, in my humble opinion. And if you don't have a Sableye, I know most of you, or a lot of you, still don't quite have a Sableye built. You can run Trevenant. That's what I ran in the previous version of this team, and it works beautifully, especially now with all the Mud Boys in the meta. So if you don't have Sableye and you want to run this very powerful team, run Trev. But we are just playing out the battle of the tanks in this mid-game matchup here. We got a shield out of this Umbreon. We're letting all this go because Umbreon does not hit particularly hard, and we are about as bulky as it gets. Gonna let this one go as well. They will struggle to farm down with Snarls. And right about here, I was a little nervous that maybe I shouldn't throw the EQ, because if we dump all that energy on and they shield it, we could lose this alignment here. And I wasn't sure if they were going to try and catch either, so we throw an alignment. We throw the Rock Slide just in case they wanted to catch. And they let it go, so we're just going to go for the next Rock Slide. I think they're just going to cut their losses here, and we are saying bye-bye to that Umbreon. Flipping switch with G-Fisk, you love to see it. They do come back in with the Drifblim, and not really sure what the heck could be in the back. This is a very unconventional lead here in Drifblim. The beauty of it is that our entire team does quite well against Drifblim, but this one does have an energy lead as it did farm down our G-Fisk. We let that go. We do tank the Shadow Ball. Not sure why they would stay in there. So I don't know what they have in the back. So we're not going to let them farm us down. We're going to bring Lanturn in here. They go for the Icy Wind. That's not going to cut it. We weren't going to shield. And right about here, I think we have to let this go. It's a Shadow Ball for sure, because they're on their way out. And that is annoying. This Drifblim is testing our patience here, testing our resolve. It's gone now. It was in Azumarill, so I really don't know why they stayed in on that Sableye matchup, which is an absolute nightmare for Drifblim, but it does not matter. Switch clock's not quite up, as it never is when you need it. We did not want to have to throw that, but we do to stall the clock. The plan here and the play here is to leave with a Thunderbolt banked, go in the Sableye to clear that debuff, and we do have that banked, so it doesn't matter at this point. This is over because we win CMP tie. So, yeah, this is Nighty Night Sleep Tight. We're just adding insult to injury with a return for its troubles, and we've got the Thunderbolt here on, I believe, looked like a CMP. It does not matter. We're saying bye-bye to the Azumarill, courtesy of our Lanturn coming in clutch for us, as I said at the beginning. Good game, well played. Oh, this team just puts in the work time after time. I always love this team as a go-to team. And here we go. Awfully, coming in the form of Clefable, we go into Lanturn here and we draw out a Registeel. So this is okay. We can flip this, but we'll have to give up a shield in the process. So seeing such an awful lead, I think that's what we're going to commit to doing here. We do definitely survive a Zap Cannon. Hits for neutral, but do they get the attack drop? They do not. For once, they don't get the attack drop on us. Holy smokes. We'll take that all day. Going for the Thunderbolt. They let it go. Not sure what their angle is here. Maybe just to grab a shield. That's really what you want out of a good save swap option. So they accomplish that. We're just going to overload a little bit. They take forever to get to a move, as they only have nuke moves. Going for the Surf here. And see what they want to do. They let it go. Beautiful. We'll take that. And they've got a Swampert. That's what they were saving those shields for. So this is kind of tricky. What we want them to do is dump some of their energy. They are still up a shield. We're getting quite low. Going for another Surf. They do live this, but I'm really hoping that they shield it. We want to get those shields back to even. They're not shielding, man. So we go into Sableye to draw back out that Clefable. They were playing that very wisely. They have almost all of the energy known to mankind on that Swampert. So that is not good at all, really, to be honest. We're just going to sack Sableye, because we know that our G-Fisk in the back is going to have to face that Swampert at some point, which is awful. they just kept on farming. Smart by them. Very, very smart play by them. So we wanted to draw back out the Clefable because we knew that we would need energy to threaten that Swampert that still has 2 shields. Holy smokes, gonna let this go. And I knew letting that go, it was over. So we're just kind of going through the motions. That Moonblast effectively ended the game because we're in Hydro Cannon range, and we're just not going to get to enough moves to get through both of those shields on that Swampert. It already has back-to-back Hydras, hoping that they blind throw. They do not. They just keep on farming. That is all this Swampert seems to know how to do. Very annoying. I was very annoyed at how well our opponent was playing. We're going to be petty and shield and go for a Rock Slide. At the very least, we will get this Swampert to shield a resisted Rock Slide, and we top left. For the very petty top left. The moral victory, getting that Swampert to shield a Rock Slide. Good game, well played to them. Again, those of you who still don't have a Sableye, you can run Trevenant in the place of Sableye. This is an excellent team, and here we go. Trevenant would be very nice right here for these Azumarill leads that have been quite prevalent as of late, if I must say. Gonna throw on the CMP here. We reached the play rough. They reached the play rough at the same time we reached the return, and they shield. Very interesting. So we're going to return the shield. We can put in work up against the Azumarill. We just can't get hit with a play rough, and they bait us, so that is unfortunate. So they are running Ice Beam. The fact that they're staying in here, well, it's not a bad matchup for them to stay in on, but we don't know what's in the back. So we're going to throw G-Fisk in here. They hit us with an Ice Beam. That does laughable damage, and they're staying in, even though we gave them Switch. So I'm not sure what could be in the back. Generally, with an Azumarill lead, it could be double Ghost with a Sableye in the back, and usually a Trevenant, but I don't know. I'm thinking that there's at least a Sableye in the back here. We live one of whatever they throw. It's Ice Beam, so I'm assuming they're Ice Beam Play Rough, of course. And we're going to go for the Rock Slide and put this Azumarill out of its misery. If it chooses to no shield, they do. And they've got an Altaria in the back, so this is not bad for our G-Fisk because we make it to a Rock Slide, resisting that Dragon Breath fast move pressure. Going to do big damage on the Altaria, about 40% of its health. And seeing this, we're of course going to come in with our Lanturn. Lanturn has a solid matchup up against Altaria because with that flying typing, it takes neutral damage from our electric type fast move pressure, and we actually win the zeros. We definitely do because they tanked that Rock Slide, but they hit us with a Moonblast. They're not messing around. They're going into their Sableye, and we are absolutely loaded. Gonna throw this Surf, chip the Sableye, and go back into our own Sableye because we had energy stored from that Azumarill matchup here. Gonna put the pressure on with a foul play, grabbing. Oh, I thought for sure they would shield that, but my goodness, holy smokes. Maybe should have shielded that to give themselves a better shot here because Rank 1 Sableye lives and we Sable KO. Holy smokes. Now it's getting a little sweaty. We got to just go for it, guys. They have to call a bait. We know that. We're doing big damage and we're farming down with a Spark. Holy smokes. Lanturn coming in clutch yet again. As I mentioned, I keep saying that Lanturn, amazing. Good game, well played to our opponent. I've been running this team for a while now in the Great League, and it has not failed me. Always good for a nice solid climb in the Great League. Here we go. G-Fisk, pretty neutral lead here for us. We do tank a EQ quite comfortably as a rank 1 Sableye here, but gonna go for the foul play on the CMP. And I do believe we let this go because we do live it, and they will have to throw a second move to take us out. It's usually a Rock Slide bait. We call that like a champ, and they bring in their own Sableye. So what we're going to look to do is grab an early shield from them or get some pretty significant chip damage in. They let that go. Beautiful. Now it's our turn to bring our G-Fisk onto their Sableye at a significant health advantage. This is going to be quite good for G-Fisk here. They let that foul play go, not wanting to give up an early shield. We tank theirs, and we're going for a Rock Slide. That's all we really need from this health range here. And we grab a shield from the Sableye. You love to see it. We do outpace these Rock Slides. I think we let this go because we do survive. And I'm thinking they're not going to want to go down 2 shields. So we're going for Rock Slide number 2 here, and it'll be interesting to see what they want to do here. They let it go. Beautiful. We've got an early shield advantage courtesy of our G-Fisk, and they've got an Azu in the back. G-Fisk with that extreme bulk, hanging on by a thread long enough to get some nice little chip damage in on this Azumarill. That's brilliant. We can now align Lanturn onto this Azu here. They don't want to stick around for that. We knew that G-Fisk had some energy, so we're going to meet this with our Sableye and trust in Lanturn to bring this home for us. We do get it to dump energy, doesn't quite KO as rank 1 Sableye hangs on. They get 2 additional mud shots out of the deal, so we're going to pressure with this Surf here. And see what they want to do. They do shield. They now have no shields. We have 2, and they are farming for days here. I'm almost 99% sure this is a Rock Slide bait. They have to start baiting to get these shields down, but it does not matter because we are at the Surf, and this G-Fisk has no shields. We're saying bye-bye to the G-Fisk, and Lanturn is looking to sweep this game. Azu with no shields up against Lanturn is a very sad Azu. Good game, well played to them. So yeah, diving back into the Great League with one of my more comfortable teams, I'm noticing that no one really seems to care about Carbink, so it's basically business as usual. We had a Lanturn on the lead. They make a play into a Charm, Alola Ninetales, not Shadow. Not that it would matter having a G-Fisk lurking in the back on our team here. Gonna let all this go. This is about as dominant of a matchup as it gets. G-Fisk on a Charm A9 here. Going for the Rock Slide here on this A9, and they do let it go. This is an impossible matchup to flip, so they are playing this correctly, no shielding. And we're going to throw with awful timing just to get rid of this. I think that they see that, yeah, they're just going to cut the losses, so it's okay. And this is a Water Gun Lanturn. Wow, okay, I did not see that. They didn't throw any fast moves, so this is good to know. This is beautiful for our own Lanturn. This is brilliant. We just throw the EQ because we're only making it to 1 move with a Water Gun Lanturn, so we do grab the shield. And they've got another Charmer in the back. Oh, my goodness. Well, yeah, okay, yeah, double Charm, okay. This is still fine. They had one of the worst Charmers for Sableye to see. Not that any Charmer is good, but Wigglytuff is literally the worst Charmer for Sableye to see. But we're up to the task here. We are super tanky, guys. We're at rank 1, Lanturn. So we are about as bulky as it gets. So this is fine. We still have shields because when you run a double charm team, you're not applying any shield pressure. So we have the shield advantage by default. And we say bye-bye to that annoying charmer, and we are resisting this fast move pressure. They're going to throw with impeccable timing. Good on them for that. Going to shield this because we want to get this chip in from this neutral Thunderbolt with Stab from our own Lanturn, because if we can accomplish that, it's going to make it that much easier for Sableye. And now, yeah, it is nighty-night, sleep tight for this very weak and lame double charm team. They could throw Surf all they want. It does not matter. We chip this thing within foul play range. And it is over for the tap-tap double charm team. Get that nonsense out of here. You can do better, trainer. You're better than that. I know you are. I believe in you. But that is the team, my friends. A good game well played to our opponent. And here, yeah. So, again, guys, I've run this team a number of times in the past. I've showcased it on the channel. Wanted to give you an updated look just to show you how it does up against the newly shifted meta. Not often a meta shifts 2 times within a season, but it shifted with the updates in the first cycle, and it shifted again for all of the responses to the newly added Carbink into the meta. So I wanted to try this team out. One, to show you guys that the team is timeless and just withstands the test of time. It's about as solid of a team as you can get. But I also wanted to run a team that I was very comfortable with, not knowing how the meta quite was with the all the people scrambling to have a Carbink, anti-Carbink team. So I wanted to accomplish 2 things with one very strong team. The team dynamics, you get 2 anti-flyers in the back. Sableye generally struggles with all of the flyers that you're going to see in the meta, most notably Noctowl first and foremost, and every other flyer in between Sableye generally struggles against. So you pair it with two of the best anti-flyers in the entire meta. Not only are they that, but they're excellent generalists that just perform beautifully in general in the Great League. That's a recipe for a very strong team to give you very strong results in the Great League. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching and keep up the grind. Thank you guys.